Okay, I really don't want to make this a video that is trying to like be, besmirch anybody, their activities. Uh, the only thing that will upset the um, mainstream media elite and the globalists, the globe, people who do things with interest for the globe, the globalists. Uh, there's one thing that they can't afford, and that is a very, very, very slow news week where there's nothing to report on. You know, like they might have had a couple of days where there was nothing to report on, a few days maybe, but like a week and then another week, if they ever had a slow like couple of news weeks, like the next couple of days would start to get very interesting. You know, media is actually, uh, well, one thing, it comes from the word Medea, or Medea is the goddess of illusion. Um, and with illusion and a glamour, you have, there's a term called infrastructure, which is frequency, and in the physical or the animal box, it's the brain that ties you to the physical with energy diverted from um, bending reality into a weak demiurge host uh, that spins plates and blows smoke rings. And well, it's just a metaphor. Yeah. So I mean, I don't have all the answers, obviously, but have you noticed that? It, um, anytime they get their hands on some news, it's a ruse. Uh, Media is from the word medium, and that is flat, like tablature or a diagram, um, a well, yeah, yada. Okay, but it's technology and or invention. Its invention is also, I mean, it has to do with technology. It's how it's what is it called? You know, it's a blueprint. You know, so like or even with sound, like it's on metal, like on a tape, cassette tape, or a CD-ROM, or a disc record. There's always something that's like flat that can sound can be encoded on, or um, an invention, or you know, like a piece of technology has its you know, flat medium. It's so, you know, it's right to come up with different things you can call that, which is masquerading as a what's it called, when you when you subvert the meaning of a word and have a compromised definition because everybody calls it that. So they're the press. I mean, you know, But anyways, I'm going over this old Six Hexenhammer information. I'm sure people already heard this before. You know, even when he said it, it was like time for it to be said. I don't know. It's like nobody really watches my channel. I know that too. So it's like, well, why are we doing this? But for the lucky individual who uh, can actually get some light from this statement, like the media is actors, and one, you know, I could say the media is or multimedia. Multimedia is like what, like a pack. Uh, well, okay, I think I know what multimedia is, and I don't know what multimedia is. It's an app. It's like a computer app. It allows you to engage different forms of media or something. I don't know. I think I could just sit back and figure out things. It seems like a smart person, but it's all actually kind of latent information. But I like it that way for some reason. So if I can remember why I started this video, then that would be pretty cool. The only thing that can destroy the mainstream legacy press is slow news days. The reason why you can consider them boring, even though you don't know why you're watching them, and it's not really boring. You're just getting this feeling of being gaslit because there's, you know, the intention of representing polite society and being the people of record, that where you hold sway and control mass media, not multimedia. You just can't have a slow week, or because you know, like the demiurge host entity that is, it's like it needs energy, and they use its energy to hold the physical world, and you know, keep it from being unscrambled by other energies to hold the physical world together, because you it's a by curation of the smacker. You have two souls, two pupils. You have two identical and opposite halves that are invectus, like and perspective is two sides of a coin. You're trying to rein in a point or expand your perspective, and you're trying to find your balance, no matter who you are, I think, or how anybody would describe it, or how you would entail what it means. It's like it's important to everybody to find their balance, and even after having done so, you're not going to be able to stay motionless, you know, because I mean, alchemical deities look to us like they're not engaging in any action. They're just separating themselves from different dimensions with the objects that they're holding in their hands. but they summoned us into the physical to raise the consciousness of matter, because matter is consciousness. So with that, you can see a pathology, like it's a mind, it's a mentality, but you have a modality. And yeah, why am I going over this? Um, the the old autocracy, even with its horrifying instances, is a lot better than what we have now. Like, we think that it's easier now because we're politically correct and quote unquote open minded and everything, but we've already compromised and subverted certain um, parameters around security, and or it's not just about coming up with wrong definitions, because that's just words. Like there's certain compromises that people take on, emergency measures and bureaucracy, and they stay in those mindsets and won't, like they resist any challenge to think, because well, I wasn't supposed to say because. I was supposed to just keep going in on that. It's all shit anyway. um, but if I realize that what required is a slow news cycle, really dead slow, like where nothing happens because it's all gravy, then who's to say that we haven't knowing this all the time, even since Nixon, like just because they didn't have as much hindsight, like who could get sick and tired of shenanigans, and when it let people lose their jobs and let people, you know, be questioned, about their tweets. Like, are these yours? Like, are these your Instagram photos? Instead of fucking throwing they, the reason why some of these subjects seem a little bit taboo is because, like, people will still mention it and at a party, or in a social gathering, they'll still be like, "Oh yeah, yeah, they got priests and that sex scandals and pizza and ping pong and shit, or there's aliens or something." They don't really want to talk about those issues or anything. They want to see, well, they want to see who's gonna. Basically, it's like, if anybody goes in on anything with any like dedication to like insights and things, like you're gonna get slammed. Like it's not slammed like bad, like a fight, but like you're gonna get what's it called? It's kind of just like disregarded. It's kind of like they dismiss, dismiss because of what is to be rid of that could be applicable. Non-essential agencies and institutions of government have to be dismissive in nature of the of their deduction, like what when you deem something not essential, they're explaining how they spend money, like what they spend money on, and it's their career. So given that you're saying their career is not essential, you're just masturbating. Like, it's okay. It's you didn't know you were masturbating because you know there was a purpose for you this at some point in time, but this institution or this agency is antiquated. Just antiquated, nothing else. You don't have to take it personal, you know. But they're going to be dismissive, and they are going to besmirch. What the fuck is this? They're going to besmirch. But, I mean, you could take it or leave it, Oh, that's enough.